All right, we are recording. Let's talk about trusting in God. Trusting in God. So, I want to talk about trusting in God because I think it's one of the most important things when it really comes to your faith. And I think the biggest thing that inhibits that trust is always going to be your feelings and what you're allowing to determine how it is that you're thinking and feeling. Ultimately, you can't change the way that you feel, but you can change the way that you think, which ultimately will change the way that you feel. And so I want to talk about these two dreams that God has given me. One of the biggest ways that God speaks to me is through dreams. I've had plenty. I couldn't put maybe a number on it, but maybe anywhere from 30 to 50 dreams God has given me over the years. And so I want to talk about one of them. So in this dream, I'm in this really eerie hotel. It's very grim, it's dim, it's kind of just like green, kind of just like a Halloween sort of movie vibe. Like it just kind of gives off this really weird vibe, I guess, that maybe something's going to happen or something weird. So I'm exploring through this hotel, moving around, running around, probably like 5 floors. I'm going through the hallways, walking around, and I see this room. And for whatever reason, I'm intrigued. I go inside this room and I start, checking it out. And as I'm in this room, I feel this presence coming, this darkness, this shadow. Something is coming, and I can just sense it and feel it coming through the hallway into the room. And so I start panicking, knowing like I got to get out, but I can't go out the door that I came because that's what it's coming through. And so there was this weird sliver in the back of the room, this cut going down to the floor below. And so I jump down into the floor below and run out and escape. And then for whatever reason, I go back up the stairs and I walk by this room again. And this time there's a lady in there and she's kind of like witchy. Like she just has this like vibe where I'm just like, okay, she's doing some witchcraft. She's doing something spiritual, something weird. And so for whatever reason, I go inside and I start talking to her. And I sit down and we're talking one on one. And then all of a sudden, as we're talking, it's mute. And it looked like this. It was as if I was talking to her, or as if she was talking to me, but it was just dead silent. And as it was dead silent, she's talking to me, and I hear God speak, and He says, "Don't be afraid to eat whatever she gives you." And so I'm like, okay, whatever. God just spoke to me. And then all of a sudden, volume's back on. She's speaking. I can hear her again. And she hands me what looks like some sort of like cinnamon stick or this like weird herb. It just looked strange. And she told me to eat it. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to eat it. And so as I start eating it, she tells me what it's going to do. And she told me that it was going to cause what in my life caused a ton of trauma. So she said, like, this is what it's going to do. And that's a big part of my life, how I came to God. Story for another day. But once you told me that, I freaked out. And so I spit it out. And I'm like, no way I'm going to eat this. Even though God just told me, hey, you can trust me. Don't be afraid to eat this. But ultimately, the woman told me it was going to cause all this trauma and stuff that I've been through to happen again. And so in that moment, I didn't trust God. So this dream revealed I didn't trust God. Dream number 2, we're just going to jump right in. I'm in this giant, like, square mile box, and it's a complete, like, void. It's pitch black, it's full of water, not all the way to the top, but again, like, I'm in, like, basically this giant room, but it's filled with water, it's black, I can't see anything. And I'm laying on this ledge as if I was laying down on this ledge right here, and I can feel the water coming up and hitting me. And so I'm laying down and I'm like, okay, I'm fine. The water's here, but I'm on this ledge. I'm safe. For whatever reason, I fall off the ledge and I lose it. And I start scrambling, looking around. How can I get back on this ledge? And so hours go by. I'm swimming. I can't see anything. And I realize I'm going to drown. I'm going to die. I can't find this ledge. I can't swim forever. And yeah, it's pitch black in the dream, but I can tell it's nighttime. It's time to go to bed. And I just realized, like, I'm going to die. And in that moment, I felt God do something, and I heard Him speak at the same time. And so what happened is I was obviously like straight down in the water swimming, but I felt Him lift me up, my whole body, to where I was on the surface resting now. And he says, Parker, don't worry. You can go to sleep. I'll hold you. And as he said that, I responded. And I went, God, no way. Are you kidding me? If I fall asleep in the water, I'll drown. I'll die. And he told me again, he said, Parker, you need to rest. I'll hold you here. Don't worry. And I just told God, no. So in these two dreams, God is offering his trust to protect us, to uphold us, to make sure that, we aren't harmed or hurt or dying in any sort of sense. And in these two dreams, I denied him twice. And in the second dream, when I felt him lift me up, it was like the greatest feeling. I can't explain to you what it was. But one of my biggest struggles in my faith is really just trusting in God. I always allow my circumstances to determine where I feel like I'm at with God. And if I'm not careful, I'll get lost in my feelings and allow that to determine where is God in my life? Where am I with God in my life? Okay, am I not doing well financially or emotionally? Well, I would allow that to dictate how I feel like I am with God or my relationship with God. I'll keep this one short. I did have another dream just a couple weeks ago, really short. I'm driving, I crash my car. Everyone that I know from communities, past jobs is there, and I'm freaking out in the dream. I don't have insurance. I'm screwed because I totaled two other cars that weren't mine. And this dude came up to me and he said hey, I was praying and I felt like the Holy Spirit said, you're trusting too much in your circumstances. So I woke up and I'm just damn, I think I am trusting way too much in my circumstances. So I think the danger is we have to put our feelings aside. I think about Peter on the boat when Jesus told him okay, come walk on the water. He calls out to him. And so Peter starts walking out, he's trusting in the Lord, he's trusting in Jesus. And as he looks around and he sees the circumstances of the storm, the waves, everything going on, he starts sinking. And so I think as soon as we tap into our feelings and our circumstances, we put our trust in that, we're going to sink, we're going to fail and fall. But God is so faithful, and we have to learn how to trust in his faithfulness even though our feelings are saying the opposite. It's exactly what faith sounds like. It's faith. You don't know. You don't feel it, certainly, but you have to trust in the Lord. And I think God is always going to give you opportunities to trust in him. So don't fail when God presents a moment to trust him, because truly that's what's going to grow your relationship with God, and that's what's going to grow your faith. So when the feelings are easy, just prepare for when they're going to be hard, because certainly that will come. We have seasons that are up and down, but the most important ones are when we are down. What is it that we're going to go to? So just a short video. Just wanted to talk a little bit of faith. I want to include God as much as I can in my YouTube channel and what I do, because it's very important to me, and I believe it's important to all people, whether they know it or not, follow God or not, believe in God or not. I just want to make sure I can be a voice and the Lord can use me in whatever ways that he desires. But that's the video for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.